Hello, Robert. How are you, sir? I'm early. You're early. Would you like to talk about anything maybe that's giving you a problem? Let me recommend something, okay? When I first started to do these recordings on YouTube, I had a little camera on my computer, okay? It was for Skype, really, but it also had a recording element. All right, and I will record it, but I will record it on the drums. And the feedback was totally terrible, only because the condenser inside of that microphone could not support the drums. Hello, Stacy. And not until I got the other cameras, everything is fine. So what I would highly recommend, who doesn't have sophisticated cameras, not sophisticated, but a better quality camera that can support the drums, the feedback, instead of the condenser's heavy enough to feed back, to play it right. Do the videos on a drum pad. Okay, this way here, I'm playing it here. You can see it and hear it. Now, I would like to talk about, we all have to practice more, Robert. Don't feel like you're being executed. Okay, what do you practice, maybe 3 hours a day, Robert? 4 hours a day? There's some things I'd like to go over. And the new guy, Seth, if you guys remember him, nice guy, man. And he plays pretty nice in the band, okay, but he has a preliminary movement, all right? And when I say preliminary movement, if he's in a full stroke position, he will lift his stick up and then hit it. Lift up and then hit it. Lift up and then hit it. So we have to correct it. How you doing, Seth? It's Seth. Dennis, hello. So, for example, you were going to do a video, you guys, on, what was that, page 24? The way you want to attack this is you're gonna stay in a full stroke position. Now, I don't mean to be stiff or hold you down, all right? But you want to get the most out of your practice session and your videos, okay? So, if I go 1, E, and the, notice something there. My 1, come back up, 1, E, and the. Before I hit the next note at a tempo like that, my hand is up. Both hands are up. I'll do it real slow. Watch the whole first measure. 1, E, and the. 2. I'm sorry. Let me do it again. 1, E, and the. 2, E, and the. 3, E, and the. 4, E, and the. Now you see the hands, they come right back. At a slow tempo like that, that's what you should be doing. However, there's an illusion that occurs. You see guys going like this. That's totally correct. And it looks like they're seesawing like this. That's not what they're doing. Okay? If I go like this, let me use the other side of the stick. If I go like this and like this, if I'm playing single strokes, look at that. They're coming back. The same thing is happening to that left hand as it is with the right hand, but in a different place. So you have this, 1, E, and, 2, E, and. Not 1, E, and. Now rhythmically you played it correct. Technically, you're not going anywhere because you're not playing, you're pounding. Do we all understand that? Seth? All right, well, you're going to get it. Dennis, everybody get the new PDFs I tried to get out there this afternoon? Did everyone get the PDFs? All right. This is just a temporary thing here, but I'm going to, when I get some time, I'm going to write about 7-8 pages of this stuff. And I'm going to show you how this is associated with the syncopation formulas. Okay, now, where I got this, and it's really, in my opinion, it really put me on the map for reading. It really helped me out. This is a couple measures here and there from the Ralph C. Pace book. And this is dedicated to my friend Stacy. Okay, you're going to have a lot of dots, rests, so on and so forth. Now here's the process. The line has two measures. The left-hand side of the line is the figure or the melody. On the right-hand side, you see a run of 16th notes. You're not going to play 16th notes, you're going to count 16th notes. You see the accents on the first line? You have 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. Now all that is there for is for you to proofread it. What I just played, the accents with the right hand, is exactly what the figure is in the previous measure. So you could get it if you don't understand it. Marcio's back. All right, Marcio. Mr. Mante's back. Okay. Dennis, did you understand that? Stacy, did you understand that? It's just a guide to help you. If I just did 2 measures of the first measure, I think you would get lost. I mean, there's a lot of counting here, and I'm going to show you how to figure it out. You look at the first downbeat, 1 E and the. On the count of 1, you have a 16th note. Okay? On the count of E and, it's an 8th note. It equals 2 16ths, and the da is a 16th. That gives you a total of 4 16ths, which if you reduce that, equals 1/4. Same process with the second downbeat, third downbeat, and fourth downbeat. If you were to add up, okay, in that measure, a 16th, an 8th, 16th, 8th, 16th, 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 an 8th, 3 16ths, a 16th, add them all up. I don't know, you're going to come up with whatever figure you come up with. Reduce it to its lowest denominator or term or whatever. It becomes 4, 4. It's a simple process. So now, to proofread it, you're not playing this. When you're playing the accent, you're not going 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3. I'm sorry, let me get it up closer. I can't see it. I'm not playing 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. The accents are the melody from the previous measure. So you can proofread it. So you're going to get 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. Now the figure is not difficult, but it's not easy either. Well, Stacy, hang out with us. You're going to see things you've never seen before. Okay, so did you everybody understand how I laid line 1 out? And the next guy I'm going to is going to be number 6. This is for Stacy's benefit. Well, everybody else's, but she mentioned the dotted 8th, the dotted rest. Well, you know, there's a lot of different ways to write notation to equal the same. You know, you could have the tie, the double dots, all that good stuff. This is just presented this is presented in a very basic element, but you look at it, it doesn't look basic. What's that? What's not at all, Robert? I'm sorry. Did I ask the question and you said not at all? All right. Look at line 6, and I'll give Robert just ask me the question that I asked, and we'll talk about it. You look at number 6. You have a 16th note, and then you have a dotted 8th note rest. Obviously, you're going to play the 16th note, and you're going to rest for the dotted 8th note rest. But now, look at the value of the notes, okay? You have a 16th note, which is 1. Then you have a dotted 8th note rest, which is equal to how many 16ths? 3 16ths. Okay, I will read the first line, okay? Let me just do number 6. I'm still on that. All right, number 6, you have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now again, that's right, Robert. The dotted 8th note equals 3 16ths. Now, if you add all those notes up, number 6, Stacy. Let me stay on 6, Robert. I'll get back to you in a second. Line number 6, page 1. 1 E and the 2 E and the ready, bang. Get it? You understand it? What line am I playing? I did mention that. Line 6, the first measure. Let me know when you're there, Stacy. Everybody else there? Everybody on the first page, line 6. Stacy, there's not that much of a delay. Number 6. All right, I'll wait for everybody to answer me. Are they on line 6? Page 1, line 6, the first measure. Now, Robert, it says read first line. Okay, you want me to read it? All right, Dennis. Now, you want me to read it? Hoist, okay. All right, what's that, 3? Stacy, what is, oh, that's wow, you must get a long delay. I asked how many 16ths the dotted 8th note equals. Are we all on line 6? Page 1, line 6. Greetings there. Who's that? I can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Page 1, line 6. That's it, Hoist. You there, Stacy? I don't know what 3 means. You're on line 3, we're on line 6. Mr. Mante put it there. Well, understand what? You're on line 6. All right, you're on line 6. Now, line 6, you're presented with a dotted note, a dotted 8th note rest. Okay? You have a 16th note and a dotted 8th note rest. You have, for the first downbeat, you have 1 E and the. Now, I could simply have just put a quarter note there, but that's not the objective here. The objective here is to make you familiar with a variety of situations of the notes and to get familiar with what equals what. So I'm going to play the first 2 downbeats of line 6. So we have 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the Simple line. I know there's a delay. I know. And I can't help it. There's nothing I can do about it. Rockin' X, is that it? How are you, sir? You understand line 6? Okay. The notation. If you guys could read a ruler and you know fractions, and if you add up every value of each note on line 6, the first measure, and you reduce it, you're going to come up with 4, 4. Now, I had a request just a few seconds ago. Yeah, we're on line 6, Stacy. Ingadabunga. There is a big delay. Sorry. I asked my computer guy, hello, old sticks, old dog. I asked my computer guy, can I fix the delay? He goes, no way. It's not you, it's not your computer. What it is, it's the web. And I'm going to go back to line 1. And this is going to be for, I guess, Robert. All right, we'll take the first downbeat, Robert. You have a 16th note, an 8th note rest, and a 16th note. If you add that up, okay, 4/16. You reduce that to its lowest term, and it equals 1/4. Okay, so now I'm going to do line 1. Okay, Robert? I'm going to do it real slow. 1, E, and, the. 2, E, and, the. 3, E, 3, E, and, the. 4, E, and, the. Let me do that again. A little faster. 1, E, and, the. 2, E, and, the. 3, E, and, the. 4, E, and, the. Now, if you're not certain of where the notes fall inside of the count, go over to the right-hand side of the page. You'll see a run of 16th notes with accents on the top. You're not going to play 16ths, you're going to count 16ths. All right? You count the 16ths and just play the accent. That is the figure. 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. Understand it, Robert? Everybody else? All right, I'm going to take some requests from these 2 PDFs. Anybody want to hear a particular line or have me explain a particular line? Shoot. Unless you want me to be a drag of a drum teacher, say, okay, stand up straight, get up at attention, next line, next line. All right, let's see what he has to say. Okay. Absolutely, Stacy, it will be. I can't do nothing about the delay. I apologize. All right, I'm taking requests for what line, what page. Dennis. Old dog. Anybody. It's a foolproof way of reading. You have the proof on the right-hand side of the line. All right? Now you have 12 phrases here. Phrases, rather, excuse me. Which one would you like me to do? 1 through 12, which one? This has nothing to do with the syncopation book directly, indirectly probably. Because we're going to go to the next half of the lesson is going to be 3 against 2. Okay? Yeah, it's all straight ahead. That's all it is, old dog. Very good. But I'm trying to explain the way I present this, okay, is if you do the left-hand side and you're not certain how it goes, all you have to do is go to the right-hand side of that line and just play the accents. That's the figure. Do you understand that? Dennis wants, what's this? 11? All right. Let's break it down, Dennis. Line 11. First downbeat. 3 16th notes and a 16th note rest. You have 1, E, and da. No, nothing on the da. It takes the value. You see it? The rest makes it four counts, which is 4 16ths, which equals a quarter. The second downbeat, 2, E, and da. So the first two downbeats, 2, E, and again, 1, E, and 2, E, and okay? Now, the third downbeat, all right, you have 2 16ths, a 16th note rest, and a 16th. So I'm starting on 3. 3, E, and da. And then the last downbeat, 4, you have a dotted 8th note rest, which is equal to 3 16ths, and I have to hit that last 16th to make it 4 16ths. So I'm going to go 4, E, and da. Okay? Let me do 11 nice and slow. Line 7, please. All right. Line 11 rather. Dennis was first. All right, line number 11. I'm going to do it a little bit faster in tempo. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and again. 1, E, 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Okay, you understand it, Dennis? All right, I'm going to do 7 for Stacy. But Stacy, if you have a problem, you don't understand it, look at it at line 7. Line 7, the second measure, the accents of the figure. All right, so I'm going to break it down, okay, Stacy? Line 7, 2 16ths, a 16th note rest, and another 16th. That's a total of 4 16ths, which gives you 1 quarter. So the first downbeat, line 7. Look at the accents. If you don't want to see, look at the figure. It's 1, E, and da. That's the first downbeat. Second downbeat, 16th note, 2, 16th note rest, E, then 2 more 16ths, and da. Now the first 2 downbeats, 1, E, and da, 2, E, and da. Third downbeat, 16th note rest, 2 16th notes, 16th note rest. So you have 3, E, and da. And then when you get to 4, 2 16ths and an 8th note rest. 4, E, and da. Again. Well, if I didn't write it out that way, it'd probably get you, Dennis. I try to make it as simple and most understanding as possible. You understand 11, and how about 7 now? I expect videos from you guys, not on the snare drum, on the drum pad. Now, we're going to do reading for a while. Not the whole lesson, but a few measures here, a few measures there, so you get more familiar with the figures. But again, I'm going to work with the 3 against 2 with you guys. So now, we're going to play the triplet with the left hand. 1, 2, 3. That's how I'm going to count the triplet here. I'm not going to count 1 and a 2 and a or 1 triplet, 2 triplet. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. That's for subdivisional reasons. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, in reality, you hear that bass drum on the 1 of the triplet, the first note of the triplet? I don't want to call partials or whatever. It's either the first note of the triplet, the second note of the triplet, or the third note of the triplet. Partials will get you all screwed up mentally. If you want me to call them partials, I will. But you hear the 1 on the first note of the triplet. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. In reality, what that is 1 against 3. 1, I'm playing 1 with the bass drum, and I'm playing 3 with the left hand. Okay, but that's not what we're going to do, but I'm just demonstrating that. Remember this afternoon, I said there's a formula. No matter what polyrhythm you have, now let's not get abstract. 15 over 3, shit like that. That's out there, man. And that you got to smoke some good reefer to hit, to even go there. But anyway, 3 against 2. That equals 6 counts. So here I'm counting 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I'm going to open up the space of the 3. 1, 2, 3. That's how I'm counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now remember the formula. 3 times 2 is 6. So if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's the same thing as counting 1, 2, 3, or 1 and 2 and 3 and. So now I got to get 3 with one hand and 2 equalized in the count of 6. So it'd be 1, 2, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have. That was the mistake I made. So I'm playing 8th note triplets with my left hand. And I'm playing 8th notes with my right hand. Nice and easy. Easy. Now, we're going to take an exercise from, what is this? They're going to update at the wrong time, man. I'm telling you. All right. So, if I interpret the stick control book, page 5, line 1, as the rights equal the bass drum and the lefts would equal the floor tom-tom. No triplet yet. But I'm going to count it 1 and 2 and 3 in. So I have 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and that. 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. That's giving me the 8th notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm playing 8th notes between my bass drum and my floor tom-tom. So I have 1, 1. Do we understand that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to write that out so you get a better understanding of it. We did that this afternoon. Stacy, 3 against 2. That's one variation. I could play it a couple different ways. 6 against 4. When you're playing quarter note triplets, for example, on top, and your bass drum is 1, 2, 3, 4, you're not saying that's 6 against 4. That's actually 3 against 2. So there's nothing difficult about it. Enter it with okay, man, let's go, round 1. What do we got here? You understand? It's, I don't have it perfected that. I'm just showing you another direction we can go into. Now, come Monday, I'm going to have this whole thing set up differently. All right? I can play double bass drums. How many guys have double beaters? All right, this is directed to Robert. Robert, do you have double tom-toms do you have on your set? What is your setup like? Robert first, please. You do have double beaters. All right. How many tom-toms do you have? 2 small ones? All right. Old Sticks has it. Stacy? I mean Tuesday. That's what I meant, Dennis. I'm sorry. The next lesson, okay? There's going to be a whole new setup. I'm going to have three toms on top, 2 on the bottom, on the floor. And I'm going to put my double beaters on, okay? That's okay, Paul. You have the PDF sheets, right, Paul? Robert, you have 3 on the upper? That's good. How many do you have? You have 2 floor toms or 1 floor? You have 2 floors. That's going to be good. How about you, Stacy? You have three tom-toms on top and 2 tom-toms with 2 floor tom-toms? And Old Dog, how about you? Dennis, how about you? There's no lesson money. That was my mistake, Dennis. Who else is in here that I didn't talk? The new guy, where is he? I didn't understand how. Seth, you all right? What's your setup again? 2 floors, all right. All right, that's good. You have it like I do right now. 1 on the top, 1 on the floor. That's not a problem. We could work around that. How about you, Paul? How many small toms you have on top? How many floors you have? And do you have double pedals? Old Dog, what about you? Mr. Mante, how about you? Thank you, Stacy. Five, that's what I have, 5 tom-toms. All right, you have 1 floor, that's okay. All right, so we'll work around that. All right, we'll gear the lesson to either 1 small tom-tom, a small tom, I call it rack tom, whatever you want to call it, wing tom. There's 3 of them, and there's 2 floors. So that gives me a lot to work with. Does everybody here have double pedals? That's good, Old Dog, perfect. You have a single beater. All right, that's okay. No problem. Now I want to set it up a lot differently. You know, a lot of people, you know all the groups that I have on Facebook, guys. You know, I have like 12 different groups, or 13 maybe, I don't know exactly, I lose count, of the groups that I've created on Facebook. One group has 115,000 members. Ay, ay, ay. I get them from all over the world, and there's a lot of trolls. You know what I mean by trolls. You know, you're not supposed to use, in one particular group, I don't want cover tunes. They keep putting cover tunes in there. So I don't accept it. Then they show a picture of their girlfriend. What in the world does that have to do with the art of drumming? So I remove them. Okay? I try to keep a clean house so we're into drumming, not into stupid stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a picture of your girlfriend. Fine, keep it in your wallet or put it on as your screensaver, but not in my group. Okay? And then we have this religious and political thing. Now, I have nothing against anyone's religion. It's your choice, freedom of religion. Okay? Not a problem. But not in the art of drumming. Period. Or engage in any political discussions, because that creates a tremendous amount of arguments. It's solely for drumming. That's all. No advertising. Occasionally I'll let an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old who's demonstrating something on a drum set or playing something, even if it's a cover tune, and let it go in. Because that's amusing, not amusing, but I think that's a beautiful thing. And you could actually learn from somebody that young. All right. Would anybody have any questions? Anybody going any place special? Well, being I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I didn't expect that last night. I didn't think about it. I have some yard work to do, work on my garden, the tomato plants, and put a French drain in the back by a fence. That's a lot of work for days off, but I need to get it. I need to get caught up. Okay, plus I'm doing 10 more books, maybe 12. So guys, please, if you're gonna do videos, please, you're gonna do the video on a drum pad. Because I know that you don't have, who's this? Dennis. Let me see. All right, that's a cool statement. I mean, I don't deal with it. Hey, Dennis, I want to talk to you on Skype. Okay? Make contact with me on Skype. What is this? Your family is planning a trip to the basement because of the way, or to stay home. What? Because to stay here with order. All right, I don't know what that means. Okay, you're gonna stay home. Well, Robert, we're gonna go over. See, that's why it's not hard to put your foot in when you're playing. The foot is the bottom. It's coming off. You play piano, right? A whole tone chord, 4 notes, right? You have a bass note, actually, correct? That's your bass drum. You know all the modes, Robert? The Ionian, the Lydian, the Lydian, the Mixolydian, all that stuff. You know all of that. You know all of that. All right, good. You know, I respect everybody who plays an instrument except the washboard. And you know what? Sometimes, all right, sometimes I listen to them and wow, they're making a lot of sense. They're out there. I don't disrespect anything, but the one instrument that I have the utmost respect for is the piano. And I say, yeah, man, I'm doing 5 things at one time, maybe 6, because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, and I have to concentrate on what I'm doing and using all my limbs. That's a lot of things going on at one time. But man, the piano player is using all of a sudden 10 limbs, plus his feet to sustain the notes, plus he's reading, plus he's counting, plus he's humming. That takes a lot. Mercy. God bless piano players. Good ones, anyway. All right, I'm going to send everybody a video. And his name is Jeff Hamilton. And this one's going to be directed actually at Dennis. Nothing bad, Dennis, because we talked about the difference between a fill and a lead-in. You're gonna see this guy. He's a great player, Jeff Hamilton. I'm going to send everybody this video, and you'll see he leads in what you call a fill, but it's not. It's a lead-in. So I'm going to try to send that to you. All right. I'm not going to take any time. I can't take time off. I'm too old. I don't have time to complete everything I want. All right, listen, guys, if you happen to go anywhere, please be safe, be careful, no drinking and driving. Well, there you go. And if you watch him, everybody says, you know, I posted that on Facebook, and some of the remarks go, man, this guy's got some great technique. Yeah, but he's not worried about it. He's not thinking about it. What he's doing, he's playing the tune. He's playing with the musicians and he's implementing his technique because it's there. That's where you want to go. You don't want to play exactly like this guy. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the guy really sounds good, man. I want to go see him live. Stacy, I talked to my friend the other day, Tim Herman, and there's nobody playing anywhere, all right, on the East Coast. So you're going to miss out on him. If he was playing when you were up here, we were going to go see him or Mike Clark. Bagpipers, yeah, that's another one, man. They're blowing wind, and you know it comes out someplace like a delay. You know why he's so fluid? He's not thinking technique. It's there. His technique is there. He's implementing his technique to the melody. You agree with that, guys? I mean, Seth, did I send you the video, right? I'm going to email everybody the video after the lesson. Okay, so everybody, please be safe. I'll see everybody Tuesday, 1 p.m. We're going to do a lesson with the drum pad, and let me see what I want to do with the other half on just the drum set, because you guys got to tune up with the reading. He sure does, but I like him with his treat. This guy plays, man. It's not. I mean, the way he plays, and I think it's great. It's so melodic. And he's reached his peak, and now all he is he's in that zone of being creative all the time. It's like when I first started to play drums, everybody goes, yeah, man, you got to get into Elvin Jones. All right, so I start listening to Elvin Jones. I said, wow, this guy really plays. So I went to see him the first time. I think it was the Village Gate or the Bottom Line in New York City. Elvin Jones is a big, big man. I mean, I shook his hand. My hand disappeared. That's how big his hand was. But anyway, I went there, and here was my problem. I wasn't listening to him. I was watching him. And when I watched him, I said, man, this guy don't have no technique at all. He can't play. So I turned around. I ordered a beer at the bar. And when I turned around, they were playing. And I said, whoa. The difference between listening and watching. Simple. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. See everybody Tuesday, 1 p.m. Dennis, send me a video. Huh. So relaxed, isn't he, Seth? Okay, guys. Have a good one. What's this now? No, I can't shut it off. Everybody be safe.